Hi, my name's Heather. I'm a Pilates instructor at Move Well Pilates in Hobart, and I want to demonstrate to you and explain to you about curl to bridge. Curl to bridge is a great exercise for engaging through the hamstrings, the back of the leg, into your glute muscles. Great for trying to help to stabilise the pelvis and help strengthen the hips, lower back if you've got lower back pain. Now if you've got arthritis, I tend to do it as a curl to bridge, but if you've got arthritis in your spine or other spinal issues, you may find the curl bit a little bit tricky. So I'll show you an alternate to that. But what I want you, I've got a tennis ball as well, because I want to put the tennis ball between my knees. Because when you start doing this, you can kind of move around your knees, and they can be in all sorts of different places, and you lose connections when you haven't quite got the strength to hold it. The other thing is the ball will help you start engaging other muscles as well. So I'm going to come down onto the mat. I'm going to place the ball between my knee. Now I've got a fairly narrow hip, so a tennis ball is probably okay for me. If you've got slightly wider hips than what I would, maybe a slightly wider, a bigger ball would be helpful. But I want to find myself in my neutral position. So what do I mean by neutral? Well, if you are arched in your lower back, I mean, might be able to see my hand through here. That's quite extended through my lumbar, and you shouldn't be able to get your hand all the way through like I've just got my hand here. It looks a bit off there. And my pubic bone is much, much lower than my hip bones. If I go the other way, where my back is completely flat on the floor, I've come into what's called a posterior tilt because my hip bones are lower than my pubic bone. But I want to come into a neutral position here, where my hip bones and my pubic bone are in that nice alignment. I can get my hands go slightly under, but not hugely. There's just a slight gap in my lower back, and usually that's just finds that nice neutral position. Bring your hands down beside you. I want to find my toes, all 10 toes, connecting to the mat. My ball and my feet and my heels are nice and even as well on the mat. And I then want to sink my lower legs into my ankles. And you may find straight away that you're already getting that engagement through the hamstrings. From there, I want to take an inhale breath. As I exhale, I want to engage my abdominals. So pelvic floor, draw my belly in, tighten the waist as I tilt the pubic bone towards my sternum, flattening my lower back. Then when I can flatten no further, I'm going to lift my hips, still finding my feet connecting nicely to the floor. As I lift my hips, I want to feel my knees reaching towards my second toe. And I'll get that nice long line. I've got my length from the top of the head, my shoulders away from my ears, and my glutes are firing through. I've got to keep my glutes almost squeezed to the ceiling to help lift up through. And the ball, of course, is helping me keep that engagement through the whole leg here. Taking that inhale breath here, as you exhale, I'll drop down from the sternum here and allow each vertebra to drop down and touch the mat as I come down back to neutral. Take that inhale breath and then exhale, tilt the pubic bone towards the sternum, rolling back up. Finding those feet connecting. Eyes are looking forward so you don't shorten that neck. So the eyes are looking forward so you keep that nice length, and you'll get the hamstring into the glutes here firing through. Knees are reaching over the toes. Taking that inhale breath, as you exhale, roll yourself down. Now, for my foot placement, I should have said, I'm probably about a 30 centimetre ruler away from my heels and my glutes. Now, if you have that arthritis, you can keep doing that. If you find that a bit tricky on your spine, what you can do is instead of curling that spine and lifting, I would tend to make sure my feet are nicely connected to the floor and my lower legs are sinking into my ankles. But then from there, I would tend to exhale, engage my glutes straight away. See if I can squeeze my glutes, pressing my feet into the floor, and just lift the hips straight up. Try not to move around, but just lift straight up. Take that inhale breath. Keep that neutral position without changing the spine, and then allow yourself to come back down onto the mat. And exhale, lift straight up, getting that engagement through your glutes here. Take that in, my breath, and exhale. Bring yourself down. Now, because we've worked those glutes, I then tend to get my clients to stretch them out. Now, if you've got a stretchy band, these are great. I don't know if your osteo in Townsville has these, but these are fantastic. You can put your foot in here. If they don't have one or you can't get one, grab a dressing gown cord. They're usually not too bad either. So you could grab some of these after you've done your curl to bridge and just stretch out that hamstring again. Make sure you keep neutral position of the spine. Allow yourself to stretch that leg out. I tend to then press the heel to the ceiling and then the toes, just to stretch out that hamstring. The other leg's long, then I can swap sides, stretching that hamstring, heel to the ceiling, toes to release it. I hope that's helped, and you start to stabilise and strengthen through your glutes and hips. Thanks for watching.